It began with a single clip, just a few seconds long, yet powerful enough to send the entire internet into an emotional meltdown. Jamie Dornan was seen gently guiding Amelia Warner through a crowded event, one hand at her back, the other lifting her coat so she wouldn't trip on the hem. It was such a small gesture, soft and almost invisible amid the flashing lights and jostling cameras, but it carried a tenderness that cut through Hollywood's noise. Within hours, the clip spread across platforms, captioned with words like, "husband goals," "true devotion," and "the love story Hollywood doesn't deserve." People weren't just watching, they were feeling something. What made the moment so striking was not the gesture itself, but the context behind it. Amelia had recently faced a difficult period. Whispers of health struggles had circulated quietly, never confirmed but hinted at through her reduced public appearances. Jamie, in the middle of filming commitments and industry events, had been expected to maintain his usual Hollywood pace. Instead, he stepped back from several high-profile engagements, choosing to stay close to his wife when she needed him most. Those who noticed the shift didn't question it at the time. They simply assumed he was navigating scheduling conflicts. But now, seeing the viral clip with new eyes, everything made sense. Hollywood insiders were stunned. It was rare enough for a major star to show vulnerability publicly, but rarer still for someone at Jamie's level to prioritize family so visibly, so unapologetically. He held Amelia's hand tightly in the clip, not performative, not for the cameras, but with a quiet protectiveness that spoke volumes. Observers compared the moment to scenes from classic romance films, saying no scriptwriter could have crafted it better. It was raw, gentle, and utterly human. And in an industry where public affection is often calculated for press attention, Jamie's sincerity felt like a revelation. As the clip continued circulating, fan reactions grew increasingly emotional. People created edits capturing their loveliest moments over the years: wedding photos, candid smiles, stolen glances at red carpets. Each clip underscoring the same sentiment: this is love that lasts. Comment sections overflowed with admiration for Jamie's devotion, but also with respect for Amelia, whose graceful presence had always complemented his steadiness. Many noted how he often looked at her as though the rest of the world blurred away, a contrast to the typical Hollywood dynamic where partners frequently feel like accessories to fame. Despite the mounting attention, Jamie remained characteristically silent. No public statement, no interview to clarify the situation. He didn't need to. His actions were speaking for him louder than any press quote could. Reporters attempted to ask him about the clip at the next event, but he simply offered a polite, knowing smile, humble, grateful, but unwilling to turn his marriage into a headline. If anything, his refusal to capitalize on the viral moment only deepened the admiration people felt. It was as if he understood the world's fascination but resisted the temptation to make it a spectacle. Meanwhile, colleagues from past film sets chimed in. Some shared small stories about Jamie's character, how he always asked about their families, how he often left work early to be home with Amelia and their daughters, how he quietly supported Amelia's creative pursuits even when her projects didn't fit mainstream expectations. One actress mentioned that Jamie once spent an entire lunch break encouraging Amelia to return to composing, telling her the world needed her music. These testimonials painted a fuller picture, turning the viral clip from a sweet moment into a window into a much deeper truth. The entertainment world began re-evaluating him. In an industry built on glamour, a man choosing love and loyalty over constant self-promotion felt almost radical. Commentators remarked how his devotion contrasted sharply with the instability that often surrounds celebrity relationships. Jamie Dornan just rewrote the Hollywood love standard, one headline read. Another described him as proof that quiet men create the loudest impact. The devotion wasn't flashy or theatrical, it was consistent, steady, and unwavering. As the festival continued, more glimpses of Jamie and Amelia emerged. In one clip, he subtly adjusted her microphone; in another, he stood behind her during an interview, giving her the space to shine while still offering silent reassurance. Each gesture reinforced what the first viral clip had exposed so powerfully. Jamie wasn't performing for the world. he was simply being who he had always been with her. Yet the moment that lingered most came at the end of the night. Amelia, looking tired but glowing softly, stumbled slightly as she stepped off a platform. Jamie caught her instantly, his arms steadying her with instinctive care. Cameras flashed, but he didn't look at them. His eyes were fixed only on her. It wasn't a grand act, but it held the weight of years of partnership, trust, and love. And as Hollywood watched, speechless, the internet echoed the same sentiment. This wasn't just devotion. It was the kind of love people spend a lifetime hoping to find. In the days following the viral moment, curiosity around Jamie Dornan and Amelia Warner intensified rather than faded. Hollywood insiders whispered that the tenderness people saw online was only a fraction of the story, just the visible surface of a devotion that had shaped their lives for more than a decade. While the internet replayed the clip on loop, analysts and fans alike wanted to understand the deeper truth behind Jamie's unwavering loyalty. Why had this moment, this quiet, intimate gesture, left Hollywood so profoundly speechless? Those closest to the couple began sharing soft, unexpected glimpses into their relationship. A longtime family friend revealed that Amelia had been Jamie's anchor during some of the most turbulent years of his early career. When he faced harsh criticism in the aftermath of his breakout roles, when tabloids picked apart his personal life, and when the pressure of global fame threatened to overwhelm him, Amelia was the one who calmly pulled him back to himself. She wasn't chasing the spotlight, she was building a safe harbor, one that Jamie depended on far more than the public ever realized. Their relationship wasn't just romantic, it was foundational. As Amelia navigated her own challenges earlier this year, Jamie's devotion came into full view. According to multiple sources, he reorganized filming schedules, postponed overseas commitments, and even turned down a major promotional campaign so he could spend more time at home. Colleagues described it as the quietest but loudest decision he ever made. Hollywood is an industry where time is money and absence equals risk, yet Jamie didn't hesitate. He valued moments with Amelia and their children more than any opportunity placed in front of him. One producer commented, "Jamie's priorities aren't dictated by Hollywood, they're dictated by his heart." But the story went deeper still. During one of Amelia's tougher weeks, Jamie reportedly arranged a private music studio session, encouraging her to revisit a song she had abandoned years ago. He played with their daughters in the hallway while Amelia composed behind closed doors, rekindling her artistic spark in a way that moved everyone who witnessed it. When she finally emerged, teary-eyed but glowing, Jamie didn't celebrate loudly. He simply kissed her forehead and said he always knew she'd find her voice again. The moment wasn't filmed, wasn't posted, wasn't public. Yet it was this type of love, quiet, unwavering, deeply respectful, that defined them. Hollywood, accustomed to the theatrical, didn't know how to respond to something so pure. Publicists, actors, and directors admitted privately that Jamie's behavior reminded them of what truly mattered beyond premieres and accolades. A famous director even remarked during a panel discussion, "Jamie Dornan breaks the stereotype. He proves that you can be successful, adored, and still keep your values intact." It was a sentiment echoed across the industry. Jamie wasn't just a talented actor. He was the rare kind of man who didn't let fame reshape his humanity. Meanwhile, fans began analyzing the dynamic between Jamie and Amelia with a renewed sense of admiration. Edits of their past interviews resurfaced, clips where Jamie gazed at her with unmistakable softness, or where Amelia subtly squeezed his hand under the table. Fans pointed out the way he always stepped aside so she could speak first, or how he subtly guided conversations to highlight her accomplishments rather than his own. These weren't performative acts. They revealed a partnership built on equal respect, quiet admiration, and authentic connection. Social media platforms transformed into love-filled celebrations of the couple. Thousands of users shared stories of how the viral clip inspired them to appreciate small acts of kindness in their own relationships. One comment read, "If this is what love looks like, I won't settle for anything less." Another said, "Hollywood didn't know what hit them. This is the kind of devotion that deserves its own award." The clip sparked a global conversation about the value of emotional presence over grand gestures, about the beauty in showing up for the people who matter. Yet the moment that truly crystallized Jamie's devotion came during a private reception following the festival. Amelia, still recovering her strength, grew visibly tired midway through the night. Without a word, Jamie placed his drink down, wrapped his arm gently around her waist, and whispered something that made her smile. Then he guided her toward the exit, not hurriedly, not dramatically, but with the same care he had shown in the viral clip. Attendees noted how he shielded her from the crowd, how he whispered reassurances, how his focus never drifted from her comfort. It was the kind of moment that didn't need camera flashes to feel monumental. Hollywood may thrive on spectacle, but Jamie's devotion wasn't dramatic, it was deliberate. It wasn't loud, it was lasting. And as the story spread across the world, people realized why the entire industry had been left speechless. They weren't witnessing a performance. They were witnessing a love built on years of patience, partnership, and unwavering loyalty. In a place where relationships often come and go, Jamie and Amelia stood as a quiet reminder of what endures. And for millions watching, their devotion reignited a simple but powerful truth. The most extraordinary love stories are often written in the smallest, gentlest moments.